Derick Giwner along with an eager to get started Matt Rose here to talk about the harness spotlight for this weekend. We have races at Tioga and Vernon Downs. Lots of stakes action at those two tracks. We're going to start at Vernon Downs on Friday night. We have the $350,000 Zweig Memorial. Nice field of 9 here, and it's a matchup of the girl versus the boys again, with Manchego taking on the boys this time as she did in the Beal.
Yeah, if you look at these horses and you were paying attention on Hamiltonian Day at the Meadowlands, a lot of these horses, a lot of familiar names there. Six Pack, Alarm Detector, Fashion with Chopper in the Hambo final, Evaluate, Manchego winning the Hambo Oaks, Metz Hall second best in the Hambo final. So yeah, it's an interesting matchup between most of the Hambo contenders and the added twist of the filly.
Manchego is the morning line favorite here, 5-2. She's coming over a Hambo Oaks win in 150, which was faster than the Open division went, where a filly won in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Do you think Manchego is going to be the favorite here?
I do, but I got to assume Six Pack is going to take a ton of money into Manchego. Off time, even money, 3-2, something like that, maybe in that area, because I think Six Pack. We all saw what happened in the Hamiltonian elimination. I don't even know if we need to.
And we're going to see it again.
We're going to watch it again.
We're going to watch it again because it's so much fun to watch.
Certain people might not want to see it again, but everybody saw what happened with Okies Fonstead.
He's sitting second over here behind the 8-horse with number 9, and he's getting pushed to the back right now.
Yeah, it was a very eventful trip and drive. Didn't get to the lead, pulled late, ended up getting blind switch, shuffled back. You're going to see him come up the rail. Remember, you only have to finish in, the top 5?
Top 5 would have made the final, and
he's come up the
he
rail.
was going to win, I think, at this point. He's thinking, hey, I can win this race.
Meanwhile, it's funny. I like Classic Chap with Smedjammer, and he was 18-1 in an open lead, and he just came to a walk. You see Svanstedt, he's not going to win. He's obviously going to make in the top 5 before he decides to leave the course and then run up and hook wheels. Just an utter disaster that I'm sure he and a lot of people would like to forget. However, I think he's going to come back right now with a vengeance here and prove that, hey, I was the best. I am the best. You're going for $350,000 here. I'm going to assume no traffic issues. He's going to leave hard. He's going to be right there on the front or near Manchego the whole race, or if not in front of him, and he will get the job done.
I'm completely in agreement with you here. I'm all on board with Six Pack. I think, one, because we're going to get a little bit better price now after that, somewhat poor effort on paper.
He won't be 2-5, but
he won't be 2-5. You're going to get, maybe you get 2-1 on him in this spot versus Manchego.
Maybe not. But
I feel like Oki's going to leave here, and he's not going to stop till he gets the top, because I'm sure it's like the overreaction thing. You do something wrong, you do it 100% the 180 degrees the other way next time around.
And I'm sure he's going to have his tactics gone over a million times in his head before the gate springs in this race on Friday night.
And Manchego could beat him. Let's be real. Manchego could beat him, but I think you're better off. You have 2 horses that could try to 150. I'd rather have the better price. But on the other way of looking at it is, if you take Manchego, you get the better driver.
You get the better, more accomplished driver, absolutely, and you can't take anything away from the filly. And yes, she is fast enough to go here, but along with I think a lot of the other bettors out there, are going to be going in Six Pack's direction. Maybe the people that made him 2-5 in the Hambo elimination want to get their money back. So play him to win if you get any sort of price. Manchego underneath. Maybe I'll throw an Alarm Detector. Interesting driver change here. You have Scott Zeron listed instead of Trevor Henry, who's driven the horse pretty much all along. Was a Hambo finalist and only won 6-1 in the Hambo final. Probably get a decent price here. Maybe throw him in underneath.
Any love for Metz Hall, who finished second in the Hamiltonian?
You know what I said to you after the race, the Hambo final. Andy Miller's always around the number in the Hambo final the last few years. And when this horse ran second and really almost only a length off the winner, almost 30-1, I was kind of irritated they didn't use him. Got to believe he's leaving from the 8-post to try to at least set up some sort of early spot. And listen, he's much improved, and it wouldn't shock me if he's in the number.
You mentioned driver changes. Brian Sears is taking over on Evaluate. He wasn't bad in the Hamiltonian from an outside post.
Okay.
Raced okay.
Listen, you pick up a check in the Hambo final at 42-1 from the 9-hole. Not bad at all.
All right, well, we got 2 votes of confidence in the Zweig. That's race number 9 on Friday at Vernon Downs for Six Pack number 6. We'll move on to race number 8 at Tioga on Sunday, August the 19th. It's the $272,000 Empire Breeders' Classic. This one's for the 3-year-old colts and geldings. They're on the pace, and we have two standouts. I guess one standout and one, just slightly below. Courtly Choice is the 9-5 morning line favorite.
Yeah, deservedly so. He bounced back from that very strange effort in the Kane Pace on Hamiltonian Day at the Meadowlands, where he was like third or fourth over in that race. A very strangely run race. Closed well, 26-2. Closed well on paper, but he never really looked like he was firing with his best. But he bounced right back with a strong brush and crush score last week in the Empire Breeders' Classic Elimination Tioga in 1:49, over 2 seconds faster than American History won his elimination. So, you know what? He's a deserving favorite. I'm not going to try to be cute and try to beat him. I'm assuming he's good to go. He'll score here as odds-on chalk.
It's worth looking at the elimination win by Courtly Choice. We're going to see it now, and he's on the lead here. And one thing you'll notice coming through the stretch is Courtly Choice is a horse that tends to bear out a lot in the stretch. And in this particular race, he's pretty much straight as an arrow, which I don't know if that means he was full of horse and he just wasn't tired at all, or they've corrected something with him, but he looked pretty good there.
Yeah, I guess I'm not the best person to answer that question. Maybe the driver or the trainer has slightly more experience. Could tell you that, but yeah, he said straight as an arrow. Brush, rate, sprint, draw off, completely in hand, no sweat. There's no reason why he shouldn't come back and handle it. I mean, he is the Meadowlands Pace winner. Obviously, he has tons and tons of ability, tactical choices from this mid-pack post. I don't see any reason to hop off board.
One thing we've seen in this division all year long is that no one wins 2 races. I mean, every single one of these big
crapshoot, this 3-year-old division.
Every single one of these big races has been won by a different horse. I don't think there's one horse that's won 2 $200,000 races this year in this particular division. And so along those lines, and not necessarily, I just feel like this is a good spot for American History to step up. I thought he was very good in the Adios. He raced well in both legs. The Kane Pace, he had absolutely no shot. It was a complete throw-out race. He did what he had to do in the elimination. It was much slower, but this is a horse who tends to do really well following and seems to be able to take some air and race well. I think this is a great spot for him to maybe float away, make his move to the lead. I'm sure that Courtly Choice will be leaving shortly after, and if he rolls down to the 3/4, American History is not a horse that's going to get lost while Courtly Choice is rolling along. And I think he's a horse that could possibly get him at what could be a 5-2 or 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, it does look kind of chalky here. I mean, there are 9 good horses in here, but I think it will come down to those 2, Courtly Choice and American History. One on the lead, near the lead. Those 2 horses you focus in on, the rest kind of looking to pick up scraps. So I'm going to chalk it up here with Courtly Choice over American History exacta. There's nothing else that thrills me in here, and I don't see any reason.
Well, when you look at this race, though, one thing I will say is there's not a lot of inside speed here. I mean, American History has not raced well on the lead. Courtly Choice never really leaves. The speed is Hitman Hill, I guess, and Ideal Feeling. Both of them were second in the eliminations last week. If they go right to the front, I assume then American History will come and Courtly Choice will come, but there's certainly a reasonable opportunity for one of them to hit the number.
No, absolutely, with early speed. You're right. Hitman Hill especially, I think, will be leaving the gate hard. I can't see how the 2 outside numbers, Ghost Dancer, Real Serial, ever get close from those tough outside spots. But like I said, the race goes through the top 2 obvious choices in Courtly Choice and American History, and I think once the dust settles, early speed types like Hitman Hill and or Ideal Feeling will be either shuffled or in a poor, not as good a tactical spot to come and make a second move. So maybe underneath, maybe for 3rd or 4th in Superfectas. That's about it.
So Matt's going Courtly Choice. I'm going number 3, American History. It's a really nice card on Sunday at Tioga Downs. They got 2 Empire Breeders' Classics, both worth over $270,000. There's the Art Escape, I believe, and the Roll with Joe, a couple of divisions of the Miss Versatility. So it's a really strong stakes card on Sunday.
That's Sunday afternoon, correct?
Sunday afternoon at Tioga, and you got
just confirming.
And Vernon is Friday evening with the Zweig and the Zweig Philly. So some really nice racing this weekend. You'll be sure to check it out. Good luck.